2JMFAB to have the shocks checked out. They've been on there for like 2 years, so figured just do like a fluid check. And one of the fluorescent bulb things decided to fall out and break all over the car under the tires. So we're trying to sweep the trailer now before we pull it out. And then we're gonna pull that out, switch turbos, I think, and pull the rears off and check them out. So stay tuned. Alright, update, we got the turbos out. Justin's over there working on the shocks. We'll go get some shots of him in a minute. And then, so we got the new turbos. What are you doing? What you got? What you got? What is that? A surprise? Bleh. So we got the turbos out, and now we're just drilling some holes for the wastegate reference and getting mounting the fittings on there to get these new turbos on. These are a little bit different size. We're going to try smaller turbo on the 5.3, even though we're using most of the 7875s. Just doesn't the little motor just doesn't have a lot of like spooled turbos. So we're hoping these are 72, 75. So we're hoping the 72s will spool faster, and then we'll see if we can still make the same power out the back. If we can't, we'll just do the 70 to 75s. But I mean, ultimately, we're trying to make a ton of power on a very small displacement motor, so everything's kind of in balance, or you got to balance everything. And so we have a super tight converter in it right now, which means which makes it even harder to spool. So we're trying to find that happy medium for the no prep this weekend. And no better time to test than first round, I guess, because we're not going to have time to test. So we're going to try to change a bunch of stuff and then try it on race day. Alright, still working on the turbos, and now we are servicing the shocks. Making sure that they're dynoing. Well, you serviced them, and now you're dynoing them. Right? You get closer so you can talk on my microphone?
No, you talk.
So, I've never seen this, really, but yeah, so we got all the new seals. You put them in the washing machine because they were filthy, and now we're going to hit some magic buttons on that laptop, and that's going to tell us something. And I think this is going to go up and down, if I had to guess. What is it doing here?
So I dyno, like in yours, since we kind of know where they are, it's on full loose on both rebound and compression. We get those readings, and we'll just go full tight. If we're doing a regular build, I'll usually check them in multiple locations, but yours are kind of proven, so I'm just making sure they're the same.
Okay.
So that's full tight. You can hear the difference.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Was it some like load sensor, or what is that called?
That is a load sensor. I measure it in 6 inches per second. There's some other shops that use a different number. That's just our standard. That's what
Yeah.
we say. And
Because you always have the same base to go off of.
I know what it does with that.
Okay.
So like these right now, this was the passenger. This one was good. There was nothing wrong with it. I went ahead and serviced it, seals, new shock oil. We'll go wash it so it's actually perfectly clean.
Those
The other
stickers.
one, yeah, it'll have new stickers. Check the bearings. The driver's side only had about half the oil in it, and it was just dirty because there's an O-ring on top here that was gone, and then you had a seal on top that was kind of gone. So that's just from the traveling.
Yeah.
So it was down on compression and rebound.
Okay.
So I've already checked it out. It's in the washer. It's reading within tolerance of this one, or within our little window. So this one's ready to go in the washer and cleaned up. Put some stickers on it. Go
All
back
right.
in the car.
Nice. All right, we're over here at Ice Race Engines and 2JMFAB. So besides being a lifeline for my problems, what else do you guys do here?
We bought machinery as we could afford it to do engine machine work, and that's turned into a whole monster of a deal now. So that's pretty much what we do. We do that, and we do shocks, set up cars, and we still do a little tuning. But I mean, shocks, do a lot of shocks, but that and engine work. If it can be done to an engine, we can do it all in house. We do everything here.
So you got this is just for cylinder heads or intakes or like what all?
Cylinder heads and intakes. It'll do cylinder heads and intakes. Actually, any part is 5-axis, so you can build any part that you can draw. It'll build it.
Key right there. It's right there. That's a 4.6 head right there. Is it getting ported?
It's getting ported. This is a 4.6 out of say 2003 Cobra.
Okay. For those who still want to soup those up.
There's a lot of them still.
Yeah.
This program picks this head up about 80 CFM in the factory, so it's definitely worth it. We can do any cylinder head. We do a lot of LS stuff, a lot of factory LS stuff. We've got some aftermarket castings, a lot of aftermarket programs, everything from Chinese castings all the way to your Brodix and CID stuff. This is a 4-axis. They're basically the same machine. This is a smaller version of the same thing. It's just as capable, except the head doesn't rotate. So we only use it for blocks. It can port heads, it can port intakes to an extent. It's a little different program, but it'll do a lot of things. Like I said, we have a head machine, so all we use it for is blocks. We've got probably 50 different tools for it at least. So the tool changer's full, and there's tools everywhere.
So when y'all did our blocks, was it in here?
Yes. So a normal 5.3 LS or 4.8. It's going to be 1/2-inch head studs, surface, boring if it needs it, and then
So this one does boring too?
yes.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Any type of O-ringing or sleeving or anything like that, it's all done in here. This is the line board fixture. If a block needs to be line board, this is where we do it. Also, you can do lifters, camshafts.
Oh, like whenever you would do the larger style lifters?
Absolutely.
Or fix the boards?
Yep.
I'll zoom in on this. What is this here? The practice piece.
This is a line hone. We line hone 90% of the blocks. We measure all of them. Some of them need it. Pretty well every aluminum block needs it. Some of them are short and sweet. Some of them that's a process.
You use line hone?
Yeah. It's a love-hate deal out there. It's kind of like sandblasting. It uses water with a glass bead, and it washes off much easier. So that's the newer process that most of them does. It gets so foggy in there you can't see a thing. So, but it'll basically make parts look brand new. everything right here. So I can show you, but, do a lot of intake manifolds, a lot of covers, stuff like that. They look really, really nice. Forest washrooms, regular mill, lathe. What are we doing? This is a surfacer also. We used to do blocks on it. Very rarely do we do any blocks on it now. Surface overheads if they don't go on the machine. That's it. It's the same style as the CNC machine. It's just as accurate. It's just as good a finish. It's a single cutter. It's a CDN cutter. So this is the home. It's a newer style. It doesn't use oil. So we actually measure every block. So you get your RA, RK, RVK, RPK, all of that stuff. We've got numbers from Total Seal that we use and we shoot for. Different blocks have different hardnesses and it changes them a little bit, so that's why you have to check it. You can't just do all of them the same.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I've just never.
It's an expensive little tool. It takes a little bit to calibrate it. Every machine shop has to have one, whether they do or not.
So tell me, where did the name 2JMFAB come from? I think I put two and two together with the fact that y'all was Justin and Josh.
Justin and Josh, our last name.
So JM.
Yeah.
What's then Fab?
Fab is fabrication.
And then y'all started with the fabbing car, building cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same size. Yeah, he's huge.
And then this is a crank balancer here.
It's a balancer. You can balance crankshafts, flywheels, any of that stuff. Gotta watch out, it'll get you. Tried to cut my finger off on it.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, because you got all those counterweights and you're flopping around. What is this actual thing here?
It reads RPM.
Oh, okay.
So the thing just sits on it. It's just magnetized. It goes on the snout.
Oh, yeah, so that you spin at a particular RPM when you balance.
Yep. So we calibrate it to a certain RPM, and then we measure the cranks at that RPM. There's a harmonic that happens in every engine at 500 RPM and at 700 RPM. So we actually measure it between there around 600.
Interesting.
So different balancing companies have different theories on that. We like this balancer. It's not as pretty and not as nice as some of them, but the balance job is superior. The software is way better. That's the seat and guide machine. This is the cutter, replaceable for different mount jobs. So this is a 3-angle cutter. So you can zoom in.
So whenever
Yeah.
you hear the 5-angle valve jobs and all that.
Yeah, there's actually that many angles. So this is a 3-angle. It's pretty common for us to put another cutter on and do 4 angles. It's a separate process. But yeah, this stuff is extremely accurate. We have special cutters made. Everyone has their own thing they like, and we've got some pretty good ones we're really proud of. It took us a long time to get, so.
I don't have any complaints on mine.
Well, you know, some people claim you compromise between longevity and performance, and we like to not compromise in either. So that's the goal.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's the goal. So it takes a lot of time to figure out what does that. So, you know, once you figure it out, you know,
Very cool.
it's something to be proud of, I guess.
Yeah.
So we've had this machine since we built the building. We literally built the building and bought this. It was one of the first things in the nice. So, yeah, we've had it 10 years.
Nice. Yeah, even like the little stuff that I do, like obviously I'll do my machine work, but I just put them together. But even just checking clearances and making sure everything's right. I mean, it takes me, y'all are probably a lot faster. It takes me 2 days to
It's
assemble
time,
an engine.
it's time consuming. A typical big block Chevrolet that you don't have any issues with, start to finish, you measure everything, it's easily 10 or 11 hours.
Yeah.
An LS motor might be just a touch quicker, but not much.
Yeah.
And then anything that's going to be boosted, or you know, you've got O-rings and copper gaskets and all that, it all takes longer. So yeah, a race engine, sometimes it's been a week or more on them.
Wow. Yeah.
So we do have a valve facer. It's a little bitty machine, but it's very accurate.
Y'all still use that one because these don't mess with valves, right?
No.
That all still done over here.
Yeah. So we face almost every valve. Some of the tie stuff we don't. They're coated. We can mess up the coating. So gotta be careful on those. Doesn't mean they can't be cut. They're just a little different. So each casting will only take a certain valve job anyway.
Okay.
So you have to get in the racier stuff to get a racier style valve job anyway.
That makes sense.
So the factory LS head, or even most of the aftermarket stuff, until you get into LS7, some of the LS3 and LS7, it's all going to be a 45 or less degree angle. So that stuff lasts a long time anyway.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys helping. That was a huge, huge help. I know I needed to do the shocks for a long time. I just haven't brought them by, and then the AC was nice. Change the turbos, and because we were about to do that on the side of the track. So
it's hard to mess with it when you win every time you go out. You know, so. But yeah, they getting a seal fix is no big deal. So.
yeah, and he took them apart, and even with all those miles, he said there wasn't any wear at all on it. Just that seal. Huge shout out to the guys over here at 2JMFAB. Josh and Justin really helped out. They helped me work on the car. We got the new turbos in, new oil lines on. We just kind of went over the car to just check on things, as well as freshening up those rear shocks. We knew about those leaks for a while now. One of the long trips, we noticed it leaking. One of the long trips, I think the first Vegas trip, we saw it leaking, and we just honestly have been racing every weekend and hadn't had time to mess with it, but we were able to get in here, have them checked out. Everything was actually good, even with all those miles on the shocks. Like nothing was wore out or anything, just the seals. But if you need your shocks revalved, custom valve, I mean, all of my stuff's custom valves. They've been with me since the beginning, when I first struggled buying off the shelf shocks. So custom valve shocks, even revalving your old shocks, 2JMFAB, as well as like ice racing. That's who does my cylinder heads, all my block prep. I do the assembly, but they pretty much do everything else when it comes to the engine work. So if you need any engine work, cylinder heads, we have kind of a custom package, like for my car. Like if you want the same stuff I got, they know exactly what I do. So check them out, Ice Racing and 2JMFAB for any of your shocks. And these guys are, man, they're awesome. It's literally 10:30 on Wednesday, and they could be having dinner, you know, with their families, and they're out here helping me get ready. So they even gave me an extra spare tire. We had a blowout at the last shop on the trailer, and then he gave me another spare tire just in case. So, huge shout out to Justin and Josh.